What I first want you to do is, I've talked about this executive coaching concept. I want you to get an executive coach, I really do. I want you to go online, I want you to look for a guy named John Futaconnect. Maybe if you can find his email, email him and write Futaconnect 3 times and say Bonin sent you, and maybe he'll give you a free hour of coaching, I don't know. Or come to the brand new event, you can meet him in person. A book that they have, which I also want you to get, is called Savvy Leadership. And it's basically about how to be savvy. So this is not about being political. This is about knowing how to maneuver within inside of an organization in the appropriate way. Okay, everybody, here's the deal. People always ask me, how do you play politics? Or people tell me I hate to play politics. A couple of things. One, I think you always have to be giving. Always, 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 always have to be giving. What I try to do is make sure that the people who work around me are better than me. I try to give as much to them as possible. Even more, credit. Credit, credit, credit. Because at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to build people who are actually care about you and engaged around you, and are there going to protect you in the event that some political situation happens. One other thing I think you need to think about is that you don't have to take the person's job above you in order to move up. Too many people believe that it's a zero-sum game. These things are pyramids, don't get me wrong, they're pyramids, and so it's tough. But if that's what is in your mind, is taking the guy out above you, then that's a horrible way to think. More importantly, how do you actually create space and create opportunity for yourself? So when I wanted to get to a C-level title, instead of trying to take somebody's job, I created the e-commerce role. So I created space and opportunity, which created jobs underneath me and a whole other team. So how do you think about creating that kind of space? I also tell people a lot, by the time you realize you need advocates, it's too late. So from the very beginning, you got to build alliances. The other thing I think is, and this is what I've tried to do a lot, is the coalition of the willing. That's the last piece of advice I'm going to give you. The coalition of the willing. Most people think, how am I going to bring the whole organization along with me? And I'm like, why do you need to bring the whole organization along with you? All I need to do is find the people who want to say yes. And literally, you'll be surprised if you find I don't need everybody. I just need the people who are willing to say yes. And we're going to take this little merry team, we're going to go over here, and we're going to go execute this thing. Actually, the other thing I am going to say, this is my last thing, is that in large organizations, what I really like is for you to have a lot of oars in the water. People sometimes get so wrapped up, and this is the one project I'm focused on. The problem is things derail really quickly. So what I always had was tons of things moving at any given time. So if something got killed, fine, I was good, we were still moving other stuff. I also am relentless in terms of I don't give up. That jump with the guy out of the sky took me 3 years to get through the organization, 3 years until it launched. So I'm relentless about getting the things that I know are going to be big through the organization. In theory, this is not really about politics, but it's about being savvy. The most important thing you can do is look up John Futaconnect, one of the best executive coaches on the planet, buy the Savvy Leadership book, and then again, be mindful of the best advice I read was in HBR, and it said, the market for great leaders is where their number 2 goes to lead. Try to make other people great. Try to make sure that other people are moving through their career. You don't necessarily need everybody to move the organization forward. You can just do the coalition of the willing. Make sure that you're not just doing one thing, that you're doing a bunch of stuff and trying to move those forward because things get derailed. And then, how I always talk about is just be deliberate. Just be deliberate about managing your career. All right. Let's talk about it. Send me some notes or thoughts, or text me directly, 646-759-1837. But I'd love to kind of compile some more around, let's not call it politics, but navigating your way through an organization. Let's talk about it.